Setting goals for 2021. Hey everyone, it's Bimbai here, and I'm just going to be talking about how we go about actually setting our goals for the year and what our actual goals for 2021 will be. So, I actually once heard a story of a guy who ran a company and really wanted Richard Branson to come and speak to all of his staff, and he offered him, I think, about 50 grand to come and talk for an hour. And his PA, declined and said, unfortunately, he will not be able to come and join. And he then decided to say, well, okay, I really want Richard Branson, so I'm willing to offer him, £150,000 to come and speak for the hour. And again, she declined. And he said, okay, well, can he come for the same amount just for half an hour? And again, she declined. And it just kept going like that. And he kept upping the amount up to, I think, something in the tune of like $1 million. Now, she finally had to respond and say, this has nothing to do with, your company or the fact that he doesn't respect your business or anything like that. It's just that, Mr. Branson sets one goal for the year and he makes sure that whatever he's involved with has to align with that goal, and anything that doesn't, he will not involve himself with because he needs to stay focused to ensure that he achieves it. Now, I actually don't know if this story is true, and I suspect it's probably not because after reading a little bit into, how Richard Branson actually sets his goals, which is several in a year, it's probably not true, but I still thought there was a really fantastic takeaway for that, particularly for me because I struggle with focus. And so we have actually, as a family, started doing that over the last 3 years. We always set a limit of 3 goals for the year. And this has really helped us kind of focus and know, as we navigate the year, what to say yes to and what to say no to. Tony Robbins talks about, the reticular activating system, which is a part of the brain that essentially, if you decide today that, I want to buy a red car, you walk out the house and all of a sudden you think you're seeing red cars everywhere. And it's not that there's more red cars. It's just that your brain now knows that that's what you're looking for, and it starts to kind of notice those and see those opportunities. So in the same way, by limiting the number of goals, we're allowing our brains to kind of focus on that a lot more and hopefully see the opportunities a lot clearer based on the goals we've actually set for ourselves. So our very first goal for the year is to increase the amount of passive income we receive into our household. So we actually already receive a little bit of passive income from property. We are currently landlords, so we have one rental property that allows us to receive some income. And I use the word passive quite loosely because it does involve work. I don't believe anything is truly passive, but when I say passive, I essentially just mean money that isn't reliant on us actually going to our 9 to 5 jobs. Okay, so how we actually intend to do this is number one, using what we already know, which is property. So we are hoping to buy additional properties in the year 2021, and how we intend to try and achieve this is actually by remortgaging or refinancing equity that we already have in properties that we already own. And this is something that banks allow. You just have to be completely honest with them about what you are hoping to use the money for, and how much you want to refinance. And often they are more than happy to do that once you can demonstrate that you are someone who would use that money wisely. So for us, having really good credit score, normally they want you to have a minimum, one of the two of you to have a minimum of £25,000 in income, which is not property derived. And often they look favorably upon people who already have experience as landlords or with rental properties, which we do. So we are very honest with the mortgage lenders on what we intend to use the money for, and the bank will decide whether they think they are happy to lend you the money on that basis or not. So that is one of the routes that we are looking to take in 2021. And the second thing we're hoping to do is publish some books. So I actually wrote 2 books in the year 2019, and actually this is a carryover goal because I was hoping to publish these in 2019, but unfortunately the amount of commitment that I needed to give to my full-time job just meant that this wasn't possible. The lunch times, the evenings and weekends I was hoping hoping to commit to my book. I just wasn't able to because I needed to give a little bit more to my job full time. So this is something that I've kind of carried over into 2021, and I'm hoping to actually get this over and done with in the first quarter of the year. So fingers crossed I can get that through and actually move on. So that would be additional passive income in the form of royalties. Now, I actually have a specific number that I'm aiming for. It's a number that I don't think I'll achieve, but I like to aim a little bit high because you never know. I think you might end up a little bit further than you expect. So my goal is for £1,000 additional income into our household that isn't reliant on myself or my husband working. So whether we'll achieve that or not, I don't know, but we're certainly going to try our best to reach that target. And at the very worst, we come in at half of that. So that's kind of what I aim for, to always go for a goal that's kind of double where I think, it might be possible to achieve. So the second goal is somewhat related to goal number one, but it's more to do with setting up strong foundations. Now, we work in construction, and often with big builds, the majority of the money actually goes below ground. It's in the foundations. It's in the stuff that you never really see above ground. So for us, I think it's setting up a limited company, just setting up all of the structures to make sure that for where we're looking to grow, we have firm foundations that enable us to then build a business on top of that. And one of the things we've already done is we've gotten tax advice at the end of 2019 to make sure that we are paying all the correct taxes, and also in the most tax efficient way. We don't just want to be buying willy-nilly and then find out we've got so much more tax than we needed to pay because we didn't go about it in the right way. So getting the right advice and also the right education, especially in things like property. The legislation and the law is changing all the time, and particularly in the UK, they're becoming more and more stringent on landlords, and it can be very difficult to actually make any money or make any profit. So just being really kind of educated about it and how we approach it is super important to whether we would actually make any money from it or land up losing quite a lot of money. So setting firm foundations is our second goal, really. And that's putting a lot in and probably not seeing very much for it in the short term. But the goal is that in the long term, we have set up a base that allows us to grow to, whatever heights we would like. Okay, and the third one is not necessarily a goal, but habits that I'm hoping to roll on and actually keep to in 2020. And the first two are actually ones that I learned from or got from Mama Furfur. If you know Mama Furfur, she's also a YouTuber, and she's got a really fantastic personal finance channel. Now, Mama Furfur held a mastermind group with all sorts of people who joined, and just people who are interested in kind of improving themselves in mindset, in finance, and all that sort of thing. And one of the things I'm a big believer in is your network and the people you keep around you. If the people you have immediately around you aren't trying to achieve the things that you're trying to achieve, you can always look for those people. And a mastermind is a fantastic way to just have like-minded people come together and try and grow together and develop. And one of the things that came out of this was a 5 a.m. club, and that's waking up at 5 a.m. To just try and have some time for yourself. Whatever it is that you need to do, that helps develop yourself. 5 a.m. I found was a fantastic time for me because with work, I'm so busy. Often I start the day and I'm focused. I tend to not get distracted by other things. Once I'm working on my job, that's it. And sometimes because of deadlines and things, I end up having to work quite late hours. And this often means that really in the evenings, the only time I have is to eat, sleep, and repeat. And I was finding that I was struggling to actually get time to do anything else to achieve any of these goals that I was hoping to achieve, like, publishing my books and that sort of thing. And for me, this was just like a real light bulb moment. Waking up at 5 a.m. meant that, between 5 and 7 or 5 and 8, I could focus on the things that really brought me joy. I love reading. I love self-improvement books, self-help books. And it just gave me time to myself, time to just spend time thinking, think and grow rich. It's all about, just having that time of no distraction to just allow your mind to wander, allow you to kind of, develop ideas in your head that, you know, it's a mama furfur word, that one, rich ideas, you know, ideas that, you know, can really develop your life and help you achieve the goals that you want to achieve. And often it's difficult to get those things done when we've got about a billion million things going through our head. We've got emails, we've got, you know, WhatsApp family groups and people forwarding us all kinds of stuff. You know, during the day it's just a lot harder to get done. So that fresh mind in the morning is something I'm hoping to continue into 2021. It's a lot harder in winter though, I'm not gonna lie. Summer, I was on it. I was like, yeah, wake up at 5 a.m, no problem, go to bed on time. Winter, I stumbled a bit, I'm not gonna lie. It was a lot harder, but I'm hoping that, you know, this coming year I'm gonna be a lot more kind of rigorous with it. I've been doing it over the December period, and I hope to kind of carry that through into January, February, and all the way through to December 2021. So that's it from me, guys. I'm Vimbai from The Inspired Baobab. I like talking about all things money related, money and mindset. If you're interested in any of that, you know, please subscribe and, you know, click the like button, and I shall see you on my next video. Goodbye.